What is going on, everybody? This is NYG Jeffy T 3285, and I hope that everybody is enjoying your Tuesday morning. Now, we all know that today was around the time when the New York Giants had to make at least 5 cuts to their roster to get down to the minimum of 85 players before this weekend's game against the Cincinnati Bengals. And today, the New York Giants did just that, as they waived 2 players earlier in the week, and they had to waive at least 3 more players on the roster before they were able to get down to the minimum of 85 players by this week after first roster cuts were due. So today the New York Giants made their cuts, and today they waived tight end / fullback Jeremiah Hall, as well as defensive back Gavin Heslop and wide receiver Austin Proehl. Now, Jeremiah Hall was a player that was actually getting a couple of first-team reps with the New York Giants as a tight end / fullback, and many believed with the injury to fellow tight end rookie Andre Miller that it would give Jeremiah Hall a shot and maybe competing for one of those back-end tight end positions going forward. But I guess the numbers games fell out of favor for Hall at this point. Plus, he really didn't have a definitive position going forward. The New York Giants must really believe in Austin Allen as well as Andre Miller, who's currently out right now with a forearm injury, a broken forearm. But I guess they believe that it's not going to be something that will keep him out for the long term. So I guess they want to keep him around and give him a look. Plus, the New York Giants still have veterans like Ricky Seals-Jones, who has not practiced so far this year, but they must want to keep at least one veteran tight end on the roster, as well as guys like Jordan Akins and, of course, last year, Chris Myrick, who was on the roster in 2021. So Jeremiah Hall is the first guy that was cut. Austin Proehl is another one who actually a few days ago pulled up lame in one of the practices as he left the practice with a hamstring injury and did not play in the first game against the New England Patriots this past Thursday. So that probably hurt his chances at maybe making the roster for the New York Giants this year. So the son of former wide receiver of the Rams, Ricky Proehl, he will not be around for the New York Giants in terms of the wide receiver competition going forward. I think that hamstring injury really did him in, and the fact that he really was not able to participate on the field going forward with the New York Giants. So he's the second guy to get released. And Gavin Heslop, who actually made a couple of nice plays in the New England game against the Patriots, but I guess they believe in that Heslop was just a numbers game with him when it came to the cornerback position. Plus, the New York Giants just signed a cornerback yesterday, in Elijah Griffin. Actually, he's actually the son of former rapper Warren G. And they must believe that that Griffin must give them some type of skill set that they believe Heslop just didn't bring to the table. So they just probably didn't think that Gavin Heslop fit their plans going forward. So maybe he's a guy that if he doesn't get picked up by anybody, any one of these 3 players, if Jeremiah Hall, Gavin Heslop, or Austin Proehl don't get picked up by any other team, then maybe the New York Giants, if they like them enough and want to develop them a little bit more, you could throw them on the practice squad going forward. So these are the first 3 cuts that have been made, and obviously it equals out to the 5 cuts that have been made overall. As of course, the New York Giants also released a couple of players earlier in the week. So the New York Giants are going to now have gotten down to the 85 roster limit right now. And of course, after this week's game, by next week, the New York Giants have to cut their roster down from 85 to 80 before eventually, after the last week against the New York Jets, they're going to have to cut their roster all the way down from 80 down to 53. That's when the really, really difficult cuts are going to have to be made and played. But so far, the New York Giants have cut their roster down to 85 players. They are now officially at the limit of what they need going into the second preseason game against the Cincinnati Bengals this coming weekend. And of course, the players that were cut today were tight end / fullback Jeremiah Hall, defensive back Gavin Heslop, and wide receiver Austin Proehl. So I hope everybody enjoys the rest of your Tuesday. If you like this video, please hit the like button below. Subscribe if you haven't already to NYG Jeffy T 3285 for more breaking news updates and chatter surrounding the Brooklyn Nets, New York Mets, WWE Wrestling, New York Mets, Brooklyn Nets, New York Giants, WWE Wrestling, as well as Food for Thought, Turn on the bell for notifications on the next video or short that drops surrounding the New York Giants. And I want you guys to leave in the comment section your reaction to the latest cuts that have happened with the New York Giants, including Jeremiah Hall, Austin Proehl, as well as Gavin Heslop. So I hope everybody enjoys the rest of your Tuesday. Take it easy, and let's go New York Giants. Together blue always.